Welcome to City News. I'm your host, Josh Ryan, and I'm in downtown Oklahoma City today talking to Shannon Cox, Communications Coordinator for Project 180. Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
We're here standing in front of a very obvious sign, Shannon.
We are.
This sign that we see behind us here, what is it doing here?
Well, if you haven't noticed, downtown, of course, we are renovating all the streets. Not all at one time, but it feels like it. And that's why we're out here, to show people what's going on. We have all kinds of traffic control and wayfinding signs to help people around as we renovate streets and sidewalks.
And our specific location right now is at Robinson and Park, right beside Leadership Square. And I don't think anyone would have any problems seeing this traffic sign, Shannon.
Hopefully not. That's definitely the point behind traffic control. But of course, there's lots of things that people don't understand as they get down here. They don't know what's closed. They can obviously look at our website, okc.gov /Project180, to see what's closed. There are lots of other signs out here. There's some fly-on-in signs that tell people businesses are open. They can still get to them, and we're trying to help show people the way.
And before we talk a little bit later about how people can really get connected with Project 180 and getting all the updates that you send out about traffic changes and that type of thing, talk a little more about the program itself. How did it get started, and how extensive will it be?
Project 180 got started, of course, with the tax increment financing from the Devon Tower. That's how most of this is funded. There's also some general obligation bonds that funded the project, and some water utilities funding money that helps with the water lines that they're replacing. There are projects that have been completed or almost complete. They'll be done in September. There's one on Reno that people can go look at, and of course the one up by the memorial that has new traffic signals, new lighting, street signs. They're all white with black lettering now. And I guess the biggest change that people will notice on the traffic lighting is they're now horizontal instead of the traditional up and down like we see here. That's kind of something to get used to. But also with the program, we're definitely doing everything from door to door, the sidewalks, amenity zones, new benches, lots of landscaping, some public art. There's quite a bit going on with this project.
And if you've seen any of the work, one thing you'll really notice is that clean, uniform look, and that's throughout. Those are standards throughout, correct?
Correct. Everything is very symmetrical, clean lined. There's particular spaces for pedestrians to be in, where the cars are supposed to be, and it helps outline the zones, so to speak. There are, lanes for the bikes. Everything should be very clear as to where you're supposed to be.
And also, if you haven't had a chance to see the renovations at our beautiful Myriad Botanical Gardens, we're getting close to completion there, are we not? We walked through the other day and really getting close and looking nice over there.
We are. That is very close. There's just maybe 20% left, and they're getting ready for the grand reopening coming October 15th. And if you haven't been in there, it is beautiful. It's completely renovated, ADA accessible, which was definitely a key to that area, to let people be able to meander through the gardens and kind of get down to the lake area to experience the whole garden.
And that is one thing that I've noticed. You really are experiencing more of the garden now, instead of all of those areas where it almost seemed a little bit closed off with a little too much foliage. You're supposed to have a lot of foliage in a garden, of course, but it also needs to be accessible. So you're taking care of that.
Right. Before, it was kind of closed off. You could still get around, but you could go one way and come back. Now you can walk all the way around. It is much more accessible, very interactive garden now.
Well, Shannon, people are kind of used to hearing about all of the beauty that they're going to experience with Project 180, and of course we've covered some of those completed projects, but let's now talk about what they need to look for whenever they're coming downtown and they need to navigate these projects. First, how do they get information about it?
They can get the information from our website, okc.gov /Project180. And on that website, we have our lane closures, an interactive map that they can print. They want to use that to come downtown. News updates go on there, like when we close sections of roadways or how to navigate around. All that information is on that website.
And what I've really loved about the maps on the website is you're really covering the most up-to-date information. That's updated weekly, isn't it?
Correct. We do update that weekly. That's typically after we have our traffic meeting. We all coordinate, get together, make the decisions, and then put the information out before it happens.
Shannon, some of the most difficult things that people are having to navigate down here involve pedestrian access. And as downtown employees, we know that people are kind of used to crossing mid-block. When they come down for events down in downtown Oklahoma City, you're used to crossing mid-block. For safety concerns, we really need to avoid that.
Correct. We're trying to avoid that. That's not the safest place to cross. Of course, we like to direct people towards the corners, to use the designated crosswalk. That is the safest place, and that's what we're trying to accomplish.
So it takes a little bit of wiggling, a little bit of, in our experience as city employees, a little bit of zigzagging.
Yes.
For a couple of blocks, but you get there, and you get there in a safe manner.
Right, and that's the point and the intent, is to keep everyone safe. We try to keep them out of the work zone with the orange construction fence and the flags and things to alert them that it's not safe to be in that area, and get them to the place where it is safe.
All right, so they haven't looked at a map or anything, and they're wanting to know how to navigate a particular area. Like I said before, we're at Robinson and Park. Can you show us a few things they need to look out for when trying to navigate Project 180 construction?
Sure. They definitely need to watch for the orange fencing again, flags. There's lots of signage that tells people where to go, how to get there. It might be a little longer walk. That's unfortunate, but the whole goal is to keep them safe.
All right, Shannon's going to take us to go get a visual for you. And Shannon, we have obviously moved.
We have.
We've come south down Robinson just a little bit, and as we see one of the beautiful pedestrian signs here, we need to think a little bit about what's going to be happening on the west side of Robinson.
Right now, as you can see, the road is closed, the intersection is closed, so pedestrians have to go around. And right now that means they have to walk up Robinson to Park and back down on the west side.
And this will be a part of the experience. I mean, there will be occasions where you'll round a corner and you'll kind of say, oh, where do I go now? Which is a little bit of part of the experience at this moment. But you guys are doing your best to reroute the pedestrian traffic as quickly, meaning it's not too long of a trip for the pedestrian as you possibly can, right?
Right. We are trying to keep it as short as possible. Of course, in this intersection, there were quite a few things that came across. There's a 20-inch water line and massive utilities that go the entire length of the intersection and then back up north. So that was the thing we had come up, that we couldn't get temporary access across their work zone. So we do have to reroute everybody to Park.
And Shannon, I can definitely see that this spot is troublesome. I mean, we have a convergence here of at least 3 parking garages, multiple office complexes, buildings, and as I can see right here in this area, as we look down the street, I can actually see that you would have to walk all the way down to Broadway to cross at the intersection. Is that right?
That is not correct here. They have added some ramps outside of these garages to help with that accessibility. We didn't want to take people completely out of their way and trying to help when we know that they would have to go all the way to Broadway. Here they're not. They're going to be able to cross mid-block.
So we do have those instances where the mid-block crossing does occur, yes?
There are probably a few. I'm sure they're all over. We can't monitor them all, but this one here has been installed so that people can cross there.
And Shannon, we've kind of reached a final destination to talk about the reroutes today, and we can kind of see with the size of this reroute, you kind of get an idea of the size of the project as well, don't you?
Right. Size of the project is rather large. It's 180 acres of downtown, and right now we're asking people to walk a little more out of their way, so it's just part of the progress.
In this particular spot, we're coming out of the city center garage, and like we were talking a little bit earlier, we're kind of in this area in the middle of 3 major garages in downtown. And if they're coming out of the city center garage, what are we going to be experiencing?
When you come out of this garage that we're standing in front of, basically they're going to have to head up Robinson on the east side to Park, and then back over to the west side if that's where their ultimate goal is.
And Shannon, this is exactly the type of location that we're talking about here, is that you're used to that route that you have every morning when you come to work. And I experienced it whenever we stepped out of Sheridan Walker, and all that work was taking place on Walker that completely cut off the traditional routes for everybody. And I understand it's an inconvenience, and we're concerned about that.
We are, and you know, it is unfortunately inconvenient. We're asking people to go further out of the way. They're not used to this route, adding a little more time to their day. You know, it's unfortunate, but it is part of what we're doing with this construction zone. It's a large area to go through, and we just want it to be safe.
And Shannon, let's hit those places they can get the latest and most up-to-date information again. How do they make contact with Project 180?
All of that information is okc.gov /Project180. They can get the map, the lane closures, any of the updates. They can contact me. There's a newsletter they can sign up for. That's all on that page.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's enough from downtown Oklahoma City for now. We're going to take you down south to Capitol Hill for a very special event for our Oklahoma City Fire Department, the reopening of Station 7. Stay with us.
This is an exciting moment for us, obviously, as this project is kind of unfolded. Obviously, this station was, opened originally back in about 1984, and I was there. We're proud of the project, we're proud of the station, we're proud to be back here in Capitol Hill, because this department has a long running history with this community, and we felt it very appropriate to remain here and be a presence here and work with this neighborhood as we have for many, many years in the past. When I was a young boy growing up south side of Oklahoma City, and before the malls and the other shopping centers came about, this was obviously one of the main retail areas of the south side of Oklahoma City. So I spent many a Saturday afternoon walking up and down 25th Street while my mom shopped, and going to the Nob Hill Theater to see a Saturday afternoon movie. So again, very familiar area with me. And then when I became a firefighter for the city in 1982, I think we just need to. My first station assignment was Fire Station 7, which at that time was a block south here at the corner of 24th and Harvey, the old two-story station that opened up back in about 1947. And then, as I said, when this station opened up in about '84, I was here at the opening for this station and this facility. So again, spent a lot of my time, especially initially in my first few years on the department, right here in Capitol Hill and Station 7. So again, this is an exciting time for me personally. Just wanted to say again that even though it wasn't maybe a pleasant thing to have happen, that we had to be in the position of doing this major renovation, it did allow us the opportunity to bring this station up to state-of-the-art compliance with the most modern fire service standards. We've added some things like a new station alerting system that we believe will help us respond in even a quicker manner than we normally do. Individual sleeping quarters for our firefighters, We put a sprinkler system in this building, which our Fire Marshal, Chief Sawyers, is fairly happy about, I can tell you that. Hydronic heating systems, LED lighting, again, a lot of these things you'll be able to see when you go in there, so we're trying to be good citizens as far as energy efficiency as well. As you can see in the rig room here, we've also got 2 brand new fire apparatus, an engine and a ladder, that'll serve this community. So for all practical purposes, Capitol Hill gets all brand new, and I think they're deserving of it. So
the folks here at the station participate in everything from the Fiesta de las Americas parade that happens every year. They mentor children in the neighborhood schools and help business owners identify safety issues in their buildings. Firefighters respond, as we know, to all types of calls in the neighborhood, not just fires, but they check to make when they make these calls, they do check to make sure that our neighbors' fire and smoke detectors are working. If they don't have a smoke detector in their homes here, they will replace those, and that is a very valuable service. Fire services are some of the most important services that we provide to our citizens. As first responders, our firefighters save thousands of lives each year, and as educators, they serve to prevent fires in our community. I am so proud of the firefighters, not just that serve this station in Capitol Hill, but our firefighters all over the community. They are the best trained, the most prepared, and the most professional group, I think, of anywhere in the country. So we salute you today for this wonderful new facility and are so proud to have it located in Capitol Hill.
And that does it for City News here on City Channel 20. Please remember, when you're downtown, you're walking, you're driving, whichever, just be as safe as you possibly can. Pay attention to all of the signage. That's what it's here for, to keep you safe. And please get engaged with Project 180. Visit www.okc.gov/Project180.